This pepper looks exceedingly hot. It's got all the veins on it.
Does that mean that?
Usually that's going to indicate that it's going to be super hot.
I did not know that.
It's starting to really like concentrate.
It's hot, it's spicy.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I had a water around here somewhere. Hi everyone, I'm Claire Saffitz. I am here in Austin, Texas, visiting Vinny. Cal's here. We're shooting a batch of episodes, meeting up with some local chefs. It's somewhat cooked and then it runs.
That's technique.
That's just, yeah.
That's technique right there.
That was way faster.
Our millers are tall. They do it from standing on the floor.
No way.
They do.
Really liked eating that piece of bread. I just sat there munching on it the entire time you were talking. First up, I'm going to be with Chef Jesse Griffiths from the restaurant Die Dough here in Austin. We're going to be at Made in headquarters. And today we're making a Central Texas specialty that Jesse's going to show me. We're making kolaches. So before I get into the episode, I want to thank our friends at Made In for sponsoring this episode. We are here in the Made In studio where we're going to be using their full line of products, from their porcelain bakeware to their stainless steel line. You've probably seen me use their stainless line in countless episodes of Dessert Person. I love that it's 5-ply construction, made in Italy, heats up fast and retains heat, and it can go into the oven up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. It is a staple of my kitchen, so check it out. You can use the link in the description below to save on your order, and let's get back into the recipe. Kolaches, I think I've maybe only had them like one time ever. It's basically like a filled bun.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's a soft, sweet dough, a yeasted dough with a little bit of egg in there, usually butter. Of course, we're going to use lard.
Okay.
And then it's just stuffed with a little bit of a sweet filling, or in our case, we're going to also do a savory filling. But they originate in Czechoslovakia. In the late 1800s, a lot of Czechs immigrated to specifically Central Texas, and they brought with them, obviously, this tradition. And we call both the sweet and savory pastries kolaches here, even though technically the savory versions typically would be a Klobasnek.
And this is something that, like, if you're driving through Texas, like you stop at a gas station, you'll find like a little. That's what someone told me.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, sure. There's going to be some of your finer gas stations, I suppose, would have kolaches. My prerequisite to buying a kolache is that they offer prune and poppy seed. If I don't see those two varieties, then I'm probably going to keep driving.
That feels very like classic Eastern European baking tradition to have those flavors.
Yeah.
And these are things that you make and serve at Die Dough.
Yes, everything in the restaurant is going to be locally sourced, all the meats and vegetables, most of the flours. Everything changes every week or sometimes every day, depending on what's in season. So we'll do a rotating filling or two every weekend for the kolaches.
Cool. So let's talk about the ingredients for the dough itself.
Yeah, so starting just with the flour, salt, sugar, yeast, and then we're going to melt lard and into some warm milk.
Like enriched brioche kind of dough?
Yeah, there's going to be some eggs, some fat. It's going to be a very soft dough. It's a very pleasant dough to knead. So we can use a stand mixer, but really it's soft enough where you can just do it by hand.
We're going to do one sweet, one savory. You prep the fillings in advance, and I feel like they're very special.
So the sweet one is a wild persimmon. So
look at the color, it's so dark.
Yeah, so way darker than most persimmons. These come into season usually in September and October. Animals love them. So turkeys, hogs, deer, birds, everything is kind of getting after these things. They'll stain your hands. They're a soft persimmon, so you want to wait till they get nice and ripe. And then I just made a very simple jam with those by just poaching them, straining them, and mixing that with sugar and cooking it down to a jammy consistency. And you see it's almost black.
Yeah, so you went out and foraged these?
Yes.
Wow, awesome. And then the savory filling.
This is a wild turkey boudin, and it's a very common savory Klobasnek with boudin in there. It's a rice sausage, and it's typically made with some offal. You can make boudin with just about everything, but this is a recipe from my friend Jean-Paul Bourgeois. He's from Louisiana, right? And it's actually in my new book, and I made his recipe for turkey boudin with wild turkey hearts, livers, gizzards, and some shredded wild turkey meat, and some rice that we grow down here in Texas along the coast.
Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait to try this. So you're adding the lard to the warm milk, and this is lard from Die Dough, yeah?
Yeah.
That you guys are making?
Yeah, we render lard from domestic hogs every week, and we have some for retail sale, and we also use it for cooking and baking a lot in the restaurant.
That's sort of all melted together.
We have our lard and our milk melted. We're going to let it cool off a little bit, and then we can add our eggs in there, and then combine everything into kind of a shaggy dough. 3 eggs for that volume.
Just crack them in?
Yeah.
These are cold, so.
And then we will start to mix our flour with the other dry ingredients.
Okay. It smells, you can smell the like melted lard. It smells really good.
You can smell lard, but then I feel like when you put it in a pastry or something, it just comes out as this like richer, more savory fat. I really love it in baking.
Yeah.
So salt, and then we'll just start to mix all this together.
Okay.
We can just go ahead and put our yeast in here.
Sugar?
And sugar, yeah.
Okay.
And then we will just start to mix that up.
And then obviously wet into dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Make a little well?
Yep.
Okay.
And then just bring that together. And then once it's started to come together, we can let that sit for a few minutes.
So just kind of get everything like all the liquid absorbed and all the flour hydrated.
Yeah, I would say like a shaggy dough.
Okay.
So Claire, maybe tell us about the first interaction with Daidue.
Yes. This is going back so many years. I was still like a assistant food editor at Bon Appetit, and I came to Austin on assignment for that year's Hot 10 list where Daidue was on the list. Did you know that you were on the list?
We had an inkling.
Yeah.
But it was, it was pretty wonderful to be included on that.
How do you feel like the restaurant's changed over the last 9 years or so?
Oh, we just learned a lot of lessons.
I mean, 10 years in a restaurant is incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, awesome.
Yeah, I'm only 28.
So does this look like a good consistency?
Yeah, that's perfect to let it rest.
Okay, because it does, it is like a little stiff. So letting it rest things, it'll just make it easier to get everything smoothed out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Should we cover it?
Yeah.
Rhoda, we had a little reunion like an hour ago. Rhoda in the Maiden Kitchen. Hi.
We're so glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
I have a Maiden towel for you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So this is ready to knead?
Yeah, we've let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's softened, it's risen a little bit, but it should be really pliable at this point. We'll get it real smooth.
Do you work it in the bowl or on the surface?
On the surface, I think.
Okay. Can I do it here?
You can do wherever you want.
Okay. And do you give it a little extra flour if it needs it, or it should be?
Yeah, I think it's going to be okay like that. But
Okay.
let's reserve the right to add some flour.
Okay, for sure.
How does that feel?
Feels good. We'll see if it like loosens up, but I think it probably doesn't need any more flour. So how many is this going to make, you think?
It'll probably make about 18.
Okay. And this is like a scaled down version of what you're doing in the restaurant?
Yeah, that's about half the size of our smallest batch.
I see. But you're not doing it by hand.
No. Can I feel it? I want to make sure that I'm so scared. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I was just scared of my math there for a second. Like, just make sure. No, it feels great.
What's the butter for?
We're going to make a little streusel.
Oh, for the streusel. Got it.
Obviously for the sweet one. But I think that crunchy texture on top is really necessary.
No, this feels really good.
There's a Czech word for it that I can never remember.
For streusel?
I've already angered the Czechs enough that I can go ahead and attempt it. I think it's Posypka.
Okay.
And
I believe it.
If I've made a mistake, then read all about it in the comments.
How do you feel about a lard fattened dough?
I feel great about a lard enriched dough.
Lard enriched. Lard fattened.
I mean, I love working with enriched doughs because the fat content makes it like so easy to handle.
Yeah.
So this is feeling, it's definitely kind of firming up because the gluten's sort of developing. Are we looking for like a specific endpoint?
I think just a little more, just like nice and smooth. We're very, very close on that though. And then, let that rise in a warm place for, 60 to 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll start taking it from there and cut it into different shapes for the different styles we're going to make.
Okay, cool. I just need things the way my mom showed me, which is like push really firmly outward and then give it a little turn and a fold. Just kind of repeat. Although there are other kneading techniques.
It's probably good.
You think it's good?
Oh yeah, it feels great. Yeah.
you have a test?
No.
Just poke it,
Just
look at
poke
it.
Look at it.
I mean, it feels good. Definitely bounces back because all that gluten, and you can kind of see the gluten like stretching across the surface. So this is ready to rise.
Yeah.
So I'll put it in the bowl. And you said how long?
Hour and a half.
Depending on temp.
Yeah.
Okay. And but then we also have one that you made and brought with you.
Yeah.
That's already ready.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll put this over here. So this you already kind of punched down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's risen and punched down, and we can make a little bit of the streusel.
So for streusel, this is kind of room temp butter.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
We're going to add in a cup of flour and a cup of sugar.
Okay. So cup of flour and cup of sugar.
Mm-hmm. And then that'll go on top of the sweet kolache. Give it some nice crunchy texture.
Just add that right in.
Mm-hmm. And just get this kind of mashed up.
Okay. Should I start portioning dough?
Sure.
So I know, did I already ask you what the weight was going to be?
Let's do about 2 ounces per.
2 ounces, okay. 2 ounces. Nope.
Golf ball.
Close enough. Golf ball, there we go.
Jesse, how far are you taking that?
Kind of your coarse meal pea sized at the largest, so get it pretty well mixed up. Sometimes you'll see cinnamon added in here, but I think for that filling, it's very straightforward. It has so much character on its own that we don't really need to.
All right, so that made about 18.
Perfect.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Good, I measured correctly.
What's your pro tip for what you're doing right now, Claire?
There's no word, there's no name for this. Just trying to get rid of the last little dough scraps. Okay.
So yeah, next up, for the sweet ones, they're gonna be little circles, so we'll just form
Okay.
little balls. So I guess we'll just do 9 and 9, sweet and savory.
Okay. So for any like rounded kind of bun shape, it's like stretching the dough over itself. So you have that kind of dome, and then you have like where all the seams come together, and then it goes seam side down on the surface, and then quick little rapid movements to get everything kind of sealed. Yeah. Can I kind of want to taste this. We're going to
Yeah.
start with this. I want to try it. The color is incredible.
So it's just pure wild persimmon. So just sugar and persimmon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really like complex flavor. Almost has like a black tea kind of like bitterness to it,
Yeah.
but in like a really good way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a complex prune.
Yeah. Did you add any acid to it?
None.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, so for the next step for filling.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, a little bench flour, and we're gonna want to roll these out.
Okay, so here, you show me one and then I'll keep going.
And I'm gonna flip it over and just get it a little bit like that. So about 1/2 inch, and then that's ready to go. And I think we'll maybe stagger them in there.
Interesting. So you're letting them rise a little bit before the filling goes in.
Yeah, just so we can make an indentation in there. Not that long, but just let them come up a little bit. You wanna do a couple?
Yeah. Good size?
Yeah.
So focused, Claire.
Well, somehow the more I do it, the less round they get.
No, that's fine.
The sweet ones are more like, almost like Danish with the filling on top.
Yes,
versus,
exactly.
Versus the savory.
Correct. We're gonna completely encase them.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
So thinner for the next
Yeah,
ones.
let's get them to be about maybe 5 inches on those.
Okay,
So we get our boudin
okay.
over here and just put a little, probably about a 2 tablespoon amount of filling on there, maybe a little bit more. Just did in the middle. And quite simply, just gather that up around, pinch closed, and then just turn it over like that. And then we'll let that rise.
Why turkey as a follow-up to the hog book?
I always say, dress for the job you want. I just really enjoy turkey hunting. I think being out in the woods in the spring it's a special time.
More, or that's a good amount?
I think that's perfect.
Okay.
It's a really hard bird to pursue. It's actually pretty difficult. Turkey hunting is. Sometimes it's easy, but it's usually not. But I think most of all, they're objectively delicious, and that kind of is what drives me. Obviously, it's a cookbook, so it's something that I do love to eat also. So we're gonna brush these with an egg wash, give them a little indentation, and then fill them with the persimmon. This pepper looks exceedingly hot. It's got all the veins on it.
Does that mean that?
Usually, that's gonna indicate that it's gonna be super hot.
I did not know that.
It's starting to really concentrate. This is a very late season jalapeno that's really nicely ripe.
So I can go ahead and start brushing these?
Yeah, brush them all. And then I'm just going to drop one chili on top of each one.
Oh, I smell it.
Yeah, it just smells spicy. And then we'll cover those and let those rise until they pretty much double.
Wow, okay. So let me switch these guys. So egg wash first.
Usually the sweet ones are, usually baked in a square pan, so they'll come out as little squares with a round bit of filling on top. And these are actually going to run a little bit smaller than your standard kolache, but I like them this size. I think it's a really doable size, pocket size. So we're just going to give them a little bit of an indentation in the middle, and then just set them up with about a heaping tablespoon or maybe a little more than that in there.
The color is incredible.
Yeah, that's going to be real pretty.
So now some streusel.
Yeah, we'll just load them up on top.
Am I trying to cover just the filling or the whole thing?
I think I like it when it's on the dough part too.
Okay.
So.
About how much are you saying?
I would say that's probably also a heaping tablespoon.
Yeah.
Good?
I think that's lovely, yeah.
Okay.
So are you going to go turkey hunting?
Yeah, I would go turkey hunting. Of all the hunting, I think I would go turkey hunting.
Yeah, it requires a great deal of patience and sitting.
I can do
Very
both
still,
of those.
Very, very still.
Patience, I'm totally fine to sit there.
Yeah, you might find that you are a natural turkey hunter.
I like fishing, but I've never really been hunting.
Hogs are good too because the sympathy level is usually pretty low.
I kind of like
you see those mean feral hogs.
Those I've never encountered. I've just seen we have a pork farm near us with these huge Berkshire pigs, and they're so cute. Not these. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
not
a different
very
thing.
These are monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, forest monsters.
Cool.
Let's cover these up and get them in a warm spot and let them almost double, nicely risen.
Yeah, you can tell these guys are already kind of starting to puff. Was it 30 minutes?
It's been about 30 minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna take a look.
Yep. There's a little bit of a poof there.
Yep. Oh, they've definitely grown. I can also smell the chilies on this one.
Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and put them in the oven. We'll get a little more rise in the oven out of them.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, they've definitely grown.
Throw them in there about 325. I'd say check them at about 30 minutes.
Okay. Do a little even. Okay. We can rotate them, I guess.
There you go.
How long has it been?
About 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give them a quick rotation. Should we do side to side and front to back?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, that's looking real good. We're going to do a little dance here.
Sure.
Or actually, you know what? I'm going to put it around like that. Perfect.
Awesome. They smell so good.
They smell done.
Done.
I think we can safely pull them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long was that total?
That's about 35 minutes, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice and brown. Rose a good deal in the oven.
Oh yeah. It kind of gives me the idea for you could do a Parker House kolache mashup where they're pull apart,
Sure.
which is kind of what we made.
Yeah, absolutely. They're soft, which they should be. They should be like really tender and soft.
Yeah, good color, but you can definitely feel that they're nice and soft. Awesome. So these need to cool before we taste. We can eat them warm, but just not hot. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe 20 minutes?
Sure.
Okay. Ready to taste? How spicy are we talking?
Well, it's hard for me to judge. I don't think it's
I'm a
very
little nervous.
spicy.
Okay.
I'll let you, then you can forge your own path with
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna try some.
Just a drop or two.
So light, like
Yeah.
so airy.
Nice and soft.
And take a look at that. And this smells so good.
I'm gonna hit it. Yeah, that's it. Sweet. And then you can still taste that Boudin in there. Not super livery at all. It's just like
No, not at all.
meaty.
And I love how the bottom gets like kind of crispy, but the whole thing is so pillowy. I really like the rice in it. Not that spicy. I was a little nervous.
Did you go for the pepper on top?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Spicy?
it's got some heat.
For this one, I'll be like all hoarse and like, no, it's hot, it's spicy.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I had a water around here somewhere.
No water. No
I
do water.
still built no water?
No, it'll just make it worse.
Oh, that makes it worse. So what's the remedy?
Milk.
You gotta eat more.
Milk?
No, just eat more kolaches.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
I'm just chasing it.
yeah. Rice and dough. That'll help.
I love the filling. So when you're doing these, fillings always cooked because they're not really in the oven long enough for there to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So I
okay.
mean, even like a smoked sausage would be fully smoked. A slice of brisket would be done. The filling's always cooked. Yeah.
These are delicious. All slices of what we can share.
Okay. Oh, that looks nice.
I love how the streusel got like, because like the sugar in there got like super kind of crackly on top. And but you still have like the little well for the persimmons.
I mean, that is the best fruit. Not the best fruit. Top 5. What? For a wild fruit.
I've
so
never
unique.
tasted anything like that. If you told me that there was like a mix of like 6 different fruits in there, I would believe you. Because there's like it's so complex.
Right.
It does have that kind of prune raisiny flavor, but like a lot, also kind of spicy and like a little bitter. Really amazing.
Oh. Kind of minerally.
So good.
Good.
I love
glad
it.
You enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I was a little stressed out.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. You seemed very calm, cool, and collected about it.
All right.
The turkey book. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
The turkey book. Ulissa, this is like the one advanced copy you have of the book.
Correct.
When is it out and where can people pre-order it?
Same website as the Hog Book, my other book, but it's thewildbooks.com. You'll be able to buy both of them.
Cool. And for anyone here in Austin or visiting, like, when should they come to Dough?
Brunch, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for Kolaches and Klobasneks.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a treat, not only just to be in Austin in general, but to like work with chefs, be shown something that I'm not really familiar with. And also I want to thank Maiden for hosting us in their studio, which is also very cool because I've been using their products for so long, and here I am. And don't forget to like and subscribe.